Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today we are just going to discuss about one of the intent example, that how we can switch from one application to other application, or from one activity to other activity, and if we want to come back, so how we can come back to the previous activity. If you remember that with our previous example, even though that was a small one example, but due to the system is slow, and due to the emulator is slow, that clip it goes almost for the 40 minutes. So this time we are trying to change the strategy. You will initially we will do the application and then within the completed application we would just try to follow it up and try to tell you that how and what kind of the steps you will follow, and then we will lead to the outputs. I hope that this way will also be more helpful, because by doing this video will be for a lesser time, for a minimum time, and you can watch it easily and you can understand the concept easily. So the first of all, we just need to go just in the file and new, and just go to the Android application. So we can name Android application as intent example. You can see from here it is already done now here. So you can put the intent example, and then you can follow all the steps like next and whatever we already did. So you are aware about these steps. So right away we're just going to our intent example. We just expand this intent example. You will see here the two different things. Number one, if we just go to the source folder, you will find here the two Java files. Number one is about the main activity.java, and another one is about the second activity of Java. And at the same time, if you just come down to your layout folder, you will also see the activity main.xml and second activity main.xml. The reason behind it is actually that we are trying to design the two screen. The number one screen is activity main, so you can see the screen here. This is intent example, and we change it the main form, and this is actually the button. We drag the button and put it here, and we change its text as next. The second activity is actually the second screen, so the title here is actually the second form. And if we just come to the button, so this is, we just label it as the end button. Now the question is that if you need to go how to edit the text from hello world to this way, so I'm just going to show you the way how you will do. You just right click here and just click to the edit text, and you can come here from the edit text, you can click to the new string, and then you can define here your string name, that like the text title on the first form, and then whatever the text you want to represent, like we mention here our main form or whatever you can do for this field. This will be for this second form or whatever it is. And the same way when you will use the button, so you will just simply drag the button here, and then you just right click again, and here again you will do the same way, edit text, and again go to the new string, and you can give any name to your button, any string to your button, like the button for first form, and then you can write the write a string for the button here, like the next or back or home, whatever you want to do. Any only additional step we need here, that you just click to the right click to the button and just go to define its ID. This is with the added ID, so you can see that this is ID for this button is actually btn next. So this will be automatically when you will save it. Try to save it all the time whenever you are doing any changes, because we need to build our R file. So for the R file you need to whatever the changes you are doing, save all your files again and again. So this is btn next, it is here r.id.btn.next. so this is the same way we did the same exercise for this screen, for the second activity and for the first activity. Then what we did, question is here that how we create the second file. For creating a second file, this is simple and easy. We just copy, right click on this one, and we just copy this file, and after that we just put our cursor on the layout and we say to paste it here. When we paste, so we change the name from here, that like the second activity. So you can do this by copying and paste the same way we copy and paste for the Java files. We copy the main and we go to paste it with the name of the second activity. So there is nothing different here. Now we're just going ahead to our main activity. What kind of the changes we need to do here? Very simple. It need only a few line code to do the all activity. Come here please at the top. You can see this line. This is the button btn. When you add this button, this text to your code here after the public class main activity, in your main activity, you will see that the error will appear here. So don't worry about the error. Just click on it and this will ask you to import this. You can import this package. That package is android.widget.button. But if you know, as you know that you will use it again and again, so I just change from button to the static. So static means what kind of a widget we will need to use, we can use it again and again. And the other is that we also import that android.view.views. So this you will need once again where you find an error. So you just right click or click on the red spot, and he will allow you to add this android.view.view package. So once you will include the package, your error will be gone. And remember, whenever you're doing anything, you need to save it, or you need to go to the project and say build all the time. You need to do the build all, because once you are building all, so these values will goes to your r.java file, and then only be possible that you can use these all values ahead. Otherwise it will generate the error for you. So to avoid the error, whatever the changes you are going to do, just go for the save all, and again when you write some code, please come here and say build all, or you can press the Ctrl+B. So come down. I'm just making it separate because this code till this to this is the separate code. What we did here, we just add these two lines. So you can see here, this is the btn what we created here, and inside here this is the button. We are just trying to find view by id. So the id, we are trying to find out the view. You know what's the view by the id, and this is with the r.id.btn next. btn next is actually the next button. If you just come here, this is the button. So come back again. So how we want to do, like suppose set on the click listener. So the btn that set on the click listener, we just go to the view on the click listener, what kind of activity we want to add on, how we want to switch to the second screen. That is here, we just created the intent. You see, this is the, we created the object for intent. So intent is equal to new intent. Main activity, what we will do, what we want to do here, that's from the main activity dot this. It means currently we are here on this, on our main screen, while we are pressing to the next button. So he should take us to the second activity dot class. Which is the second activity dot class? Second activity is here. See with my mouse pointer, this is actually the second activity. So it will take us here to this form. This is the whole, and while you were doing your code, you will find an error here. So you just need to put the semicolon here, and you need to put this semicolon, the missing semicolon here. This will be done, and you will inshallah not find any error. So this is the only whole complete entire code what we need for this main dot activity. Now you know that we are trying to jump from the one activity to the other activity. So for that you need to do some little changes in your Android manifest XML. I'm just going to show you. We just open this one. This is the Android manifest XML, and here you just add here a new line. Why? Because this is the activity. Android name is second activity. What do you mean by the second activity? This second activity, see what is highlighted here, this is the same second activity here, because we want to upload, or we want to go to switch our second second activity. By default, the all information is available in the Android manifest file is only for the first activity, but we want to switch from this first activity to second activity. So this line is actually required for this one. Now please come ahead, and we are coming to the second activity.java file. till here it will be done. That if whatever we want to do, if you will run your application, and after running your application, if you want to press the next button, you will not be able to switch to the second activity. Why? The reason is that by default here the value will be the same. If we just come up with the main activity, so in the main activity, what's the value? It is the activity main. This is the activity main. So activity main is referring to this one. So because if you remember that you copied this file and create the second activity, you copy this file and created your second activity. So for that reason, here you need to change from the main activity, you need to change it as a second activity. You see here, this is the second activity. So you just change here with the layout that which one you need to load, and again the same things what we did with our previous screen, the button, btn, and or whatever you want to create. This is not an issue, and the same, there is nothing difference. btn, button, find, view by id, rid by btn, and this btn is actually your this button. This is your end button. If we just go to the edit id, this is the btn. So we are doing nothing special. This is the same button, find, view, id, rid, btn. In our previous screen we put here btn next. I'm just giving you the two different values just to compare you for the both. Now this btn is actually the same again, set on the click listener, view on click listener, is everything same. But here if you remember, when we were doing with the main, we were trying to switch from the one screen to the another. That's why we use intent here, and that's why we were saying, we were passing the parameter that we need to switch from the main activity, which is this means what is the currently selected, to the second activity. This was required while we were here at our first form. Okay, now we are at here our second form. So we are trying to say that when we click to the end, so our this activity, second activity, will be finished, and we may move to our first activity back to this our main form. So now we need to do what? We not need anything what we did previously with our this activity, like this whole intent, new, and blah blah blah. But here we just only need to finish, to use a finish to finish our activity, and it will take us again back to our main activity, which will be here. So I hope that you understand the whole, and I think that you will like this idea also, because if we just go to write the code, and then the movie size and the time will be more. So rather to do like this, it is better to save the half of the time, and then I can explain you more clearly by switching from one screen to another and like more. So now you can come up here, we can run our application. Say here Bismillahirrahmanirrahim and run this application. Here whatever the changes he is suggesting, say no, because it's already done. Whatever the changes we were doing right now, he is asking about it. So just come up here with the Android screen. This is select, but we are just trying to start from the start. So this is the start. We just press the home button. Now you are here, click this one and find out your example. This is your intent example. It is loaded. Great. This is your intent example. So you just click to intent example, and see here when you are clicking to the intent example, so you are here, you can take to your first form. Intent example can start from here. This is the main form, which is the first screen, and your next button is here. When you are clicking to the next button, it will take you to the second screen. Yes, see, now you are at the second form, and this is the end button. So this is your intent example. Well, now while you are just going to click to the end button, it will only execute the finish, okay, the finish method, and you will be at the home screen. I just click this one, so you now just see we are again back to our main form. Keep remember that if you are using this finish method, so this finish method will use to take you to the home screen, to the parent screen, to the first screen, because with this example we try to use only the two screens. If you have more than two screens, so when you use the finish, it will take you to the home screen. Okay, so be clear about it. Try to do the same practice for this one, and try to do the practice by adding more than 3 screens or more than 2 screens. Okay, as you can understand that if the screens numbers of the screens is more, so how you can use the same code and how you can use the same concept. And remember, if you will go for the multiple screens, then you need the multiple layouts. So again, the way will be the same. You can copy and paste. Again, for Java file it will be the same. You can copy and paste, and again this is in the Android file, you need the same what you did for the first one. So I hope you understand this concept. This is all about today. One more thing, if suppose by default while you are loading your emulator, sometime your emulator screen is not good enough, and if you want to rotate this, so you can rotate easily by pressing from your keyboard like Control and F11. So you just imagine, just see that when we press the Control F11, so it is in a horizontal form, and again if you want to take it back, so we can press the Control F11, so again this is in the vertical form. Best of luck to all of my students at King Faisal University, and I hope that you will do the wonders. Thank you very much. Goodbye.